Does anybody remember this cow? She was crazy lame, on 3 feet, and we've struggled with her. There's a clue. Answer in the comments before the video starts, or you're cheating. What number is the cow that we're just about to trim on the Hoof GP? Come on then, you've had the whole intro to get it. Did you get it? That's right. It's number 300. If you got that, seriously well done. That can't have been easy. Not many people got it though, did they? Come on, face up, be honest, did you cheat? Anyway, this is how cow 300 was looking just a couple of months ago. She was in a huge amount of pain. This front left foot all peeled away and revealed a huge puddle of pus. It was completely filled to the brim. We poured the pus out, which is something I don't normally find myself saying. Did the best job we could of that foot, but also her back 2 feet were in this condition. So yes, she has had a very sore and very long journey so far. I genuinely don't know if she's lame or not. I'm just about to ask Darren if she is. But we are about to find out what her feet look like, because we've got to lift them. This is cow 300. Is she lame? No. He says she's not lame. I've just seen that front foot. Now I truly can't remember what these back feet look like, so here's a little montage and a voiceover of what was wrong with their feet. Either way, they're looking pretty good now, but not perfect. So this is 300's back left foot as it was during the last visit to her feet. As you can see, it was in really good shape, but it did have some serious hemorrhaging down in that toe area, that little red spot you can see. Apart from that, she was looking all good, especially when you compare it to the first trim. Sadly though, her back right has been giving us some real problems. As you can see, she has a serious lesion high up on the white line of this back right foot. I'm trying to play around about it so that the horn doesn't insult it and make it worse. If you compare it to the first trim here, there's actually not all that much difference. So during this trim, we wrap it with iodine to try to shrivel up that ulcer that's sticking out of the wall, and I've got my fingers crossed, it's done the trick. Before we get a chance to find out though, here we are trimming her back left foot, and all looks well so far. When you revisit a cow like this, you are really trying to be as delicate as you possibly can. You can go too far and undo all of the good work, and that would be an absolute nightmare. So there is bruising in there, and we need to make sure that bruising doesn't turn into an ulcer. And by changing the angle here, tipping her feet up, that'll help, but also by modelling out, it'll mean it's not in contact with the ground just as much as it was. Don't want to take too much off though. So this is what it was like on our very first visit, and this is what it's like a couple of months later. It's been a struggle, but we're getting there. Next foot. Now clearly this foot is not as in good condition. There's some sort of problem going on here, which looks like a sole fracture, and a problem here, which is clearly a white line defect. Her feet are also kind of crossing over, so a nozzle will help us trim the right one. This may sound a little strange, but the problem causes problems. You see, when something is wrong with a cow's hoof, she does everything she can to avoid putting weight on that area, and often that means putting weight on areas that are not designed for that use, which in turn causes new problems. See, there's a twist in her foot, so if I push that up like that, it shows where the true balance is, and right there it looks good. There, it looks like this one's long, doesn't it? But looks can be deceptive. I'm just going to model this a bit more deeply. And up here, so no bruising starts to arise. So a little bit of detached hoof horn there that I want rid of, but apart from that, I'm not going to do all that much. Hoof trimming really is just common sense.
Because one foot is sore, the other is becoming sore. And in the treatment, it's also common sense. Because there is a problem on the outer claw and also one on the inner claw, that in itself causes me an issue. Because if I overload that inner claw, that problem is going to become a real issue.
Right, here's a little hard decision. Obviously, I am filming this for YouTube, and this looks horrible. But remember, it's not all about looks, it's about functionality. So we're not going to remove all of that horrible kind of bumpy looking horn, because that would reduce the height of the heel, and that in turn would put more pressure on the sore area. So yes, it doesn't look fantastic, but when it's on the ground, it will be functional, and that is what matters. Right, let's check the heel on this. Okay, to me, this does not look healed. But again, I am happy to be wrong.
Cases like this are notoriously hard to fix. That outer wall horn takes almost 10 months of growth to descend from the very top where it starts growing all the way to the base of the foot. So even if you did a perfect job the first time, it would still take 10 months to heal.
It is still open in there. Open.
As I trim a foot like this, I'm grimacing because I hate the thought of the cow being in such pain.
So we'll dress that with iodine right now to let it sink in. And while that's sinking in there, we'll clean this up, ready for a block.
Come on now folks, be honest. Who is sick of me applying blocks to cows' feet? Not me if I'm honest, because they can do such an unbelievable job of transforming the levels of comfort of these cows. Years and years ago, they used to nail on blocks. I actually was taught how to nail on blocks to cows' feet in a therapeutic way. But these days we have BoviBond, so it is much simpler to apply a block and way faster. So we're able to do it more often.
So as you can see, this TP horseshoe block avoids this part of the foot completely, but should take the weight off here, and actually keep the weight off here as well. So as long as it stays on, because these are hard to keep on, it should do a good job. And while that dries, we'll go and check out her front left foot. By the way, her front right foot is beautiful, so it doesn't need very much attention at all.
Just to be close to you, and in my head, it's just you and I don't know why I feel this way. Now I'm in the corner, watching you smile, watching you smile. Now I can't get over you, I'm losing my mind.
Obviously, there's never really been a problem with that one. This front left foot was the one with the major issue.
When you're passing me by, I fall in love. There's something about you, I wish you were mine. And if I only could be there to hold you, it feels like...
It may seem like a strange choice of words, but cows overcoming problems like this is actually pretty inspiring to me. I think it's incredible what Cow 300 has overcome when it comes to this front left foot. With a little help from a hoof trimmer like me and a huge amount of patience from a farmer like the owner of this farm, it's amazing what can be achieved.
So as you can see, she has made a full and dramatic and complete recovery. This couldn't be any better for her. On that foot, that back right foot, it's taking time, but we are getting there. That doesn't look pretty, so we will remove it. That's better, all the other cows would have made fun of her. Do you remember when she first left the crush? I really wasn't happy with how she walked. I was I don't know if I was disappointed, but I remember thinking, she is still in pain, she still doesn't look good. And yeah, look at the difference you can make with a huge commitment from the farmer and a bit of effort on our part. Guys, this has been the Hoof GP. Again, thanks for watching the continued story of Cow 300. If you like stories like this of joy and happiness and cows and a bit of muck and manure, then make sure you've hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next episode of the Hoof GP.